Hello everybody, I am here for day 7 of Watercolor Month, and I am going to paint this. This is the flower, my reference photo, and it's a corn cockle. There are so many flowers that have the 5 petals and they all look very similar, and anyway, that's what the reference photo said. It was a corn cockle, and it's a memory of the carnation family, which I don't get that, but anyway, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to just do a light sketch, and like I said, it's a 5 petal, which there are so many 5 petal flowers, 5 and 4, and this is just a loose sketch. And then it's got these little narrow leaves that come out from it. There are 5 of them as well. And then the stem kind of comes out from the center. It's got a, I don't know what that's called, but like a bulb sort of thing, and then the stem. And I have not taped this off, so we're gonna start with painting the flower itself. This is the color. I could not tell you. I probably shouldn't start with that one because it's like the darkest. Maybe I'll try to put a lighter pink. This is opera pink, and I'll put a lighter color here, and then it'll get darker as it goes out, and then when it gets to the center, it's white. And there's some lines that streak through it, which I'll do in a minute. I think sort of at the end. It goes down about 2/3 of the way. Get a little bit more of that opera pink, and you lighten the color by adding water. If you add white, you're gonna make your watercolor opaque, so it's not transparent like a normal watercolor would be. And sometimes that's what you want, but in this case, I don't think that's not what I want. When I did the lavender, I had white in that because it was way lighter than I could make it with just by adding water. I'm trying to pick up some of this water. I'm just tapping my brush off to get the water off of it. Now I'm going to go back to that dark color, and it's wet, so it should bleed, but I did pick up a good bit of the water, so it may not bleed that much. It's kind of got a line down through the center of it. have to do a smaller brush. Sorry about that. I just propped it up so it just fell down. And when you draw the lines, this has got a fairly good point on it, so I'm just going to try to use this. When you draw the lines, you kind of got to go toward, for the shape of the petal. You don't want to do straight lines. The center one's kind of straight, and then these are they kind of curve a little bit. In the shape of the petal. It's a good bit dark there. Try to keep the palette from falling off the table. Too much water. Maybe I'll go around and do the other leaves and leave that one for last. I had to check my film. I heard my phone ding. Okay, now it's got white, but it also has yellow in the center. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this bleed-proof white, which is opaque, and do the center with that. And then there's some yellow in the very center of it. But I'm probably going to have to dry that before I do that. And maybe I can get the green in. See if I've got a smaller brush. I thought I had one here, but this one is smaller. And it has a pretty good, point on it too. Mixing two different greens together. What I have on my palette. We've had so much rain here today. All right, so let's see if we can do a few splatters of the color, the pink color that I've got here. Okay, now we'll do a little yellow in the center. I should have dried it first. I said I was going to dry it, and then I didn't. Let's try it. I smeared that one, so we're just going to smear a bunch of them as though that was my intent. And then after it's dry, maybe I'll add some more. Goes my ink top. I forget that I've got that sitting there, and it just blows the top off when it heats up. All right, so let's see. Not sure where that top went. I'll search for it later. See if we can do a few splatters that are not spread out. Okay. Now, let me touch up that white. And dry that before I add the yellow. Okay. All right, let me dry this one more time. And I'm gonna Just take a pencil and define the petals in the center a little better. Bring the leaves out to a point. And I don't know. It probably would be better to use colored pencils to do those lines, or either watercolor. You could use just colored pencils, or you could use watercolor pencils, but I don't have any in here where I am. We'd define them better. Overworking this. You can see where this is a really inexpensive book, and you see where the cover has the binding is kind of split, one signature off, and there are like 3 more signatures left, but the first signature kind of was torn from the cover, so I can fix it, but I don't want to do it until after I'm done. So anyway, this is a corn cockle, and I want to thank you for joining me. Hope to see you again tomorrow.